Hi, I'm Sean Gannon, and this is Minute Math, and today we're learning about solving multi-step inequalities. We're going to solve each inequality and graph its solution. Now, if I was given this inequality.
Minute Math, when you need help you use Minute Math.
Negative 11 is greater than or equal to 6 minus 2n minus 5. Well, let's combine like terms. Negative 11 is by itself on the left and still greater than or equal to. The 6 and the minus 5 come together to be a 1. 1 minus 2n. So let's go subtract a 1 to both sides now. And now we have negative 11 minus 1 is a negative 12. Negative 2n is still on the right. Now if I divide by negative 2 to both sides, when you divide by a negative 2 or a negative number over the inequality, the sign is going to flip. Okay? So this greater than or equal to sign becomes a less than or equal to sign. Negative 12 divided by negative 2 is a positive 6, and n is by itself on the right. We can rewrite this to have n come first, so 6 is less than or equal to n. Same thing as n is greater than or equal to a positive 6. So let's graph this. Put a 6 here, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 5, 4, 3, 2. If n is equal to 6, that means we have a closed circle there at 6. n is also greater than 6, so the arrow goes to the right, and there we have it. Our graph matches our final answer. N is greater than or equal to 6. 0 is greater than negative 5x minus 6x. I want to get x by itself. So, first step, 0 stays there, greater than. Let's simplify this part on the right. Negative 5x minus 6x is a negative 11x. Now remember, that's multiplication. Opposite of multiplication, division. Divide negative 11 to both sides, and x is now by itself on the right. On the left, 0 divided by negative 11 is still 0. But when we divide over an inequality, the sign changes. Greater than sign is now less than sign. We can rewrite this to have x come first, so 0 is less than x is the same thing as x is greater than 0. So let's graph this. We put a 0 here, 1, 2, 3, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3 here. Alright, since x is not equal to 0, that means we have an open circle here at 0. X is greater than 0, so the arrow goes to the right, and there we have it. Our graph matches our final answer of x is greater than 0. X plus 1 plus 4 is less than or equal to 9. Well, 1 plus 4 is 5, so we have x plus 5 here is less than or equal to 9. Subtract a 5 to both sides, and now x is by itself on the left. It's so less than or equal to, but 9 minus 5 is 4. So let's graph it. 4 here, 5, 6, 7, 3, 2, 1, 0. Since x can equal 4, that means we have a closed circle right here at 4. X is less than 4, so the arrow goes to the left, and there we have it. Our graph matches our final answer. X is less than or equal to 4. Negative 9 is greater than negative 5n minus 4n. Let's combine our like terms. Negative 9 is by itself on the left, but negative 5n minus 4n is a negative 9n. It's being multiplied here, so opposite of multiplication, division. Divide negative 9 to both sides. Negative 9's cancel, and n is by itself on the right. Negative 9 divided by negative 9 is a positive 1. But we divided over an inequality, or divided by a negative over an inequality, so the sign changes. Greater than is now a less than sign. We can rewrite this and flip it around, because 1 is less than n is the same thing as n is greater than 1. So let's graph this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. n is not equal to 1, so we have an open circle at 1. n is greater than 1, arrow goes to the right, and there we have it. Our graph matches our final answer, n is greater than 1. 5k minus 2k is greater than negative 9. We want to get k by itself. 5k minus 2k is 3k, and it's still greater than negative 9. Multiplication's right there, so opposite of multiplication, division. Divide both sides by 3, and now k is by itself on the left. It's still greater than negative 9 divided by 3 is a negative 3. So let's graph this. Negative 3 here, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6. K is greater than negative 3, so it's not equal to negative 3. So open circle at negative 3. It's greater than, so the arrow goes to the right, and there we have it. Our graph matches our final answer. K is greater than a negative 3. Negative 2 is greater than or equal to 4p plus 6 plus 4. Well, let's combine our like terms on each side. 6 plus 4 is 10, so negative 2 greater than or equal to 4p, 6 plus 4 is 10. Now if I subtracted 10 to both sides, negative 2 minus 10 is a negative 12, and it's greater than or equal to 4p here. That's multiplication. Opposite multiplication, division. Divide both sides by 4, and we'll p by itself on the right. Negative 12 divided by 4 is a negative 3 here, and it's greater than or equal to p. We can rewrite this to have p come first, so negative 3 is greater than or equal to p. The same thing as p is less than or equal to negative 3. Let's graph it. Negative 3 right here, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, negative 4, negative 5, and negative 6. Well, if p can equal negative 3, we put a closed circle right there at negative 3. P is less than negative 3, so the arrow goes to the left. And there we have it. Our graph matches our final answer. P is less than or equal to negative 3. 30 minus 6a is less than negative 3 times 5 plus 7a. Well, to get a by itself, I want to first distribute this negative 3 to both parts there. So the left-hand side stays the same, 30 minus 6a. The right-hand side, negative 3 times 5 is negative 15, and negative 3 times 7a is a negative 21a. So let's combine our like terms. Let's bring the a's to the left, so add 21a to both sides, and let's subtract a 30, the numbers to the right. Subtract a 30 to both sides. 30's cancel here, and the 21a's cancel there. 6a plus 21, or negative 6a plus 21a is 15a. It's less than or equal to, and negative 15 minus 30 is a negative 45. Divide both sides by 15 is my last step here, and now a is by itself. So less than, and negative 45 divided by 15 is a negative 3. So let's graph this. Negative 3 is right here, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6 here. A is not equal to negative 3, so that's an open circle there at negative 3. A is less than negative 3, so we put the arrow to the left, and there we have it. Our graph matches our final answer. A is less than negative 3. 33 plus 4x is less than or equal to a negative x plus 7. First thing I want to do is I'm actually going to distribute this negative into that parenthesis. So 33 plus 4x stays where it is on the left. Negative goes in, negative x, and then negative times a 7 minus 7 here. So let's bring our variables to the left, numbers to the right, by combining our like terms. Add an x here to both sides, and subtract a 33 here to both sides. X's cancel, and the 33's cancel there. 4x plus x is a 5x, so less than or equal to, and negative 7 minus 33 is a negative 40. Multiplication's going on there, so opposite multiplication, division. Divide both sides by 5. 5's cancel, and x is now by itself. It's less than or equal to, and negative 40 divided by 5 is negative 8. So let's graph it. Negative 8 here, negative 7, negative 6, negative 5, negative 4. And then negative 9, negative 10, negative 11, negative 12. Since x can equal negative 8, that gives us a closed circle there at negative 8. X is less than negative 8, arrow goes to the left. Arrow goes to the left, and there we have it. Our graph matches our final answer. X is less than or equal to negative 8. 2 times 6 plus 4n is greater than or equal to 12 minus 8n. First thing I want to do is distribute the 2 into the parentheses. 2 times 6, 12, and 2 times 4, n is 8n. And that is greater than or equal to 12 minus 8n. So now let's go combine our like terms. So I'm going to add an 8n to both sides here. And I'm going to subtract a 12 to both sides. 12's cancel here, and 8n's cancel there. 8n plus 8n is 16n. It's still greater than or equal to, and 12 minus 12 is 0. Last step, divide 16 to both sides. 16's cancel, and n is by itself. It's greater than or equal to 0 divided by 16 is still 0. So let's graph this. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. If n can equal 0, that means we have a closed circle there at 0. N is greater than 0, so the arrow goes to the right, and there we have it. Our graph matches our final answer. N is greater than or equal to 0. Negative 5 times 2b plus 7 plus b is less than negative b minus 11. First thing I want to do is to distribute the negative 5 into the parentheses. Negative 5 times 2b is negative 10b. Negative 5 times 7 is a minus 35 here. Then plus a b, and less than negative b minus 11. Let's combine our like terms on each side. Negative 10b plus 1b is a negative 9b. Minus 35 is less than negative b minus 11. Let's bring our b's to the left, our numbers to the right now. Add a b to both sides, and add 35 to both sides. B's cancel here, and 35's cancel there. Negative 9b plus 1b is a negative 8b, and it's less than negative 11 plus 35 is a 24. We divide both sides by negative 8, and b is now completely by itself. Be careful though. Divide by a negative over an inequality, the sign flips. Less than sign is now a greater than sign, and 24 divided by negative 8 is a negative 3. So let's graph this. Negative 3 here, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, and negative 4, negative 5, negative 6 here. b is not equal to negative 3, so we have an open circle at negative 3. b is greater than, so the arrow goes to the right, and there we have it. Our graph matches our final answer. b is greater than a negative 3. Negative 33 minus n is less than or equal to negative 3 times 2n plus 1. First thing I want to do is distribute the negative 3. So left-hand side is the same for right now. Negative 3 times 2n is a negative 6n. Negative 3 times 1 is a minus 3. So let's bring our n's to the left and our numbers to the right, combining our like terms. Add 6n here, plus 6n here, and add a 33 here, and 33 here. 6n's cancel, and the 33's cancel. Negative n plus 6n is 5n. Still less than or equal to, and negative 3 plus 33 is 30. So let's divide both sides now by 5. 5's cancel, and n is now by itself, less than or equal to, and 30 divided by 5 is a 6. Let's graph it. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 5, 4, 3, 2. Well, since n can equal 6, that gives us a closed circle at 6. n is less than 6, so the arrow goes to the left. And there we have it. Our graph matches our final answer of n is less than or equal to 6. Negative 3 times a negative 7p minus 6 minus 7 is less than p minus 29. I want to get p completely by itself. First step in doing that is to distribute the negative 3 across. Negative 3 times negative 7p is a positive 21p. Negative 3 times a minus 6 is a plus 18. And then we have a minus 7 here. And on the right it stays the same, p minus 29 for now. Combining like terms, 18 and negative 7 become 11. So 21p plus 11 here now is less than p minus 29. Continue our journey to combine like terms. Let's bring the p's to the left and the numbers to the right. Minus a p here, minus p, and minus 11, minus 11. P's cancel, and the 11's cancel there. 21p minus 1p is a 20p. It's still less than, and negative 29 minus 11 is a negative 40. We divide both sides now by 20, and p is completely by itself. It's less than, and negative 40 divided by 20 is a negative 2. So let's graph this. Negative 2 here, negative 3, negative 4. Oh, wrong way. Common mistake. Be careful with that. We have a negative 1, 0, 1, 2, and negative 3, negative 4, negative 5. Well, p is not equal to negative 2, so open circle at negative 2. P is less than negative 2, though, so the arrow goes to the left. And there we have it. Our graph matches our final answer. P is less than a negative 2. Negative x plus 23 is less than 2 minus 2 times x minus 8. First thing I want to do is I'm going to distribute this 2 within that parenthesis. So negative x plus 23 here is less than 2. Now minus 2 times x is a minus 2x, and minus 2 times a minus 8 is a positive 16 here. Alright, now let's go simplify on each side of the inequality. Negative x plus 23 is already in, oops, not 3 there, 23, in its simplest form. It's less than, and 2 and 16 combined together, okay? 2 and 16 combined together would be 18, and minus 2x. Let's bring our x's to the left and our numbers to the right. So we add 2x now to both sides, and subtract 23 to both sides. X's eliminate here, and 23's eliminate there. X, or negative x plus 2x comes out to be a positive x, just 1x. And still less than, and 18 minus 23 is a negative 5. Let's graph this. Negative 5 here, negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, and negative 6, negative 7, negative 8, negative 9. Well, x is less than a negative 5, and it's not equal to. So, since it's not equal to, open circle at negative 5. X is less than negative 5, arrow goes to the left, and now we have our graph that matches our final answer. X is less than negative 5. 32 minus 5n is greater than or equal to 7 minus 5 times n minus 5. Alright, we want to get n by itself. First step to doing that is actually to distribute the 5 to that inside that parenthesis. So 32 minus 5n stays here. It's greater than or equal to 7. And now minus 5 times n is a minus 5n. And minus 5 times a minus 5, make sure to bring the negative over, is a positive 25. All right, let's bring our n's let's combine our like terms. Oof, forgot the numbers. On the right, our numbers, we have 7 and 25 come together. So 32 minus 5n stays where it is, and it's still greater than or equal to, and 7 plus 25 comes out to be a 32, and it's minus 5n. So now let's bring our n's to the left, our numbers to the right. Add 5n here, 5n there, and we subtracted 32 here, and subtract a 32 there. 32's cancel, 5n's cancel. Negative 5n plus 5n is a 0, and it's less than or equal to, and 32 minus 32 is 0. So when we have this and our variable disappears, okay, be careful. This is a true statement. So what that tells us here is that all real numbers are solutions here. So if I was to graph this, it would actually be an arrow that covers everything. It goes in both directions, both ways, forever. So now we have a graph that matches our final answer, all real numbers. 12 times a 10b minus 9 is greater than a negative 12 times 9 plus 8b. Well, first thing I want to do is to distribute within each parentheses. 12 times 10b is 120b, and 12 times a minus 9 is a minus 108. It's still greater than, and now the right side. Negative 12 times 9 is a negative 108, and negative 12 times 8b is a negative 96b. So let's keep trying to get b by itself. I'm going to add a 96b to both sides here, and don't let the big numbers trick you, it's the same process. And we added 108 to both sides here. 108's cancel here, and the 96b's cancel there. 120b plus 96b is 216b. Negative 108 plus 108 ends up canceling as well, and is 0, and we still have the greater than sign. Multiplication's going on right here, so we divide 216 to both sides, and be careful, b is now by itself, and it's greater than 0 divided by 216 is still 0. So let's graph this. 0 here, 1, 2, 3, and negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. b does not equal 0, so that's an open circle at 0. b is greater than 0, so the arrow goes to the right, and there we have it. Our graph matches our final answer. b is greater than 0. Negative 2 times k minus 12 minus 5 times k plus 2 is less than a negative 9k plus 4k. Well, first thing, I'm going to distribute into each parenthesis. Negative 2 times k is a negative 2k. Negative 2 times a negative 12 is a positive 24. Minus 5 times k is a minus 5k. And make sure you distribute the minus again. Minus 5 times 2 is a negative 10 or minus 10. It's less than, and negative 9k plus 4k is a negative 5k. Alright, so the left-hand side, let's combine our like terms here. Negative 2k and negative 5k is a negative 7k there. 24 and minus 10 become a positive 14, and it's still now less than negative 5k. So I'm going to bring my k's to the left, my numbers to the right. Add a 5k to both sides here, and subtract a 14. The 5k's cancel here, and the 14's cancel there. Negative 7k plus 5k is a negative 2k. So less than, but on the right-hand side, there is no regular number. So there's essentially nothing there. 0 minus 14 is a negative 14. To get k by itself still, I need to divide by a negative 2 to both sides. Negative 2's cancel, and k is now completely by itself. But since we divided over the inequality by a negative number, it switches from a less than sign to a greater than sign, and negative 14 divided by negative 2 is a positive 7. So let's graph it. 7 here, 8, 9, 10, and 6, 5, 4. Well, k is not equal to 7, so open circle there at 7. Then k is greater than 7, arrow to the right, and there we have it. Our graph matches our final answer, k is greater than 7. 8 times 1 plus 8x plus 8 times x minus 11 is less than a negative 10x plus 2x. All right. First thing, let's distribute with to each parenthesis. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 8 times 8x is 64x. Now we add 8 times x is 8x, and 8 times a minus 11 is a minus 88. That's less than negative 10x plus 2x is a negative 8x. Bless you. That's my daughter now, below me there. Just sneezed. All right. Let's combine our like terms on each side. 64x plus 8x comes to be a 72x, and 8 plus a negative, or 8 and minus an 88 is a minus 80 here. And we still have less than negative 8x. So let's combine our like terms. X is to the left, numbers to the right. We add an 8x to both sides here. And we add an 80 to both sides. Now on the right, there's no number there. Well, it's a 0, so we kind of put it on its own. These 80s cancel, and these 8x's cancel. 72x plus 8x is an 80x. That's less than, and now we just have an 80 on the right. 80x is less than 80 there. Multiplication's going on. We divide by 80 to get rid of that. And now x is by itself. X is less than 80 divided by 80 is just a 1. So let's graph. We have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. X is not equal to 1, so that means we have an open circle right there. X is less than 1, so the arrow goes to the left, and there we have it. Our graph matches our final answer of x is less than 1. Negative 2 times 9r plus 3 minus 7r is greater than or equal to negative 10r minus 12r plus 9. Okay? Well, first thing, I'm going to distribute within this parenthesis. Negative 2 times 9r is a negative 18r, and negative 2 times 3 is a minus 6. And then we have a minus 7r here. It's greater than or equal to negative 10r, and let's distribute this minus sign to both parts. Minus 12r here, and then a minus a 9, okay? So let's simplify on each side, combine our like terms on each side of the inequality, and negative 18r minus 7r is a negative 25r, and we still have a minus 6. It's greater than or equal to, well, negative 10r minus 12r is a negative 22r, and we have a minus 9 here. Okay? So let's bring our variables to the left and numbers to the right. We add a 22r to both sides here, and we add a 6 to both sides. 6's cancel here, and the 22r's cancel there. Negative 25r plus 22r is a negative 3r, and it's greater than or equal to negative 9 plus 6 is a negative 3. Multiplication's going on between the negative 3 and the r, so opposite multiplications, division. Divide both sides by negative 3 here, and we're left with r by itself. Now when we divide over an inequality by a negative number, the sign switches, so greater than or equal to sign is now less than or equal to sign. Negative 3 divided by negative 3 is a positive 1. So now r is less than or equal to 1. Now let's graph. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. R can equal 1, so we have a closed circle here at 1. r is less than 1, so the arrow goes to the left, and there we have it. Our graph matches our final answer. R is less than or equal to 1.
Minute Math, Minute Math. When you need help, you use Minute Math. Minute Math, Minute Math. When you need help, you use Minute Math. MinuteMathTutor.com.